Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman. And we are here today to talk about our Kansas preview for the ARCA Menards Series. So Jay, I'm looking forward to this one out at Kansas Speedway, a 1.5 mile track.
It is, and we're into that part of the season, especially on the Cup side here, but the ARCA also there with them this weekend. I'm sure I'll try not to use too many Wizard of Oz references throughout the day, because I know when we go to Kansas, that seems to be a theme. So we'll try and save you from that tonight. Yeah, exactly.
True. Okay, so we've got some notes here for the Tide 150 at Kansas Speedway. They are racing on Friday night, May the 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll be 7 p.m. Central Time. It will be televised live on Fox Sports 1, and radio coverage will be on MRN Radio, Jay. So that'll be pretty cool.
It is. Again, you got multiple ways you can catch the action, and you certainly want to. When we get into the history of it, the ARCA Menards Series race at Kansas Speedway there is the 30th time as they run that Friday's Tide 150, and it's the fourth round of the 20 races scheduled for 2025. Now, this is the series' first race at the 1.5 mile trial, was the track's opening weekend way back in June of 2001. That race was won by Jason Jarrett over Frank Kimmel and Tim Steele. And if you're an ARCA Menards fan, you know those names.
Absolutely. For the first time in his career, though, LeVar Scott, who drives the number 6 Mexico Link Chevrolet, leads the ARCA Menards Series Championship standings as they head into the Tide 150. Scott, who has 2 top 5 finishes in 3 career starts at Kansas Speedway, including a third-place effort last September, has a 3-point advantage over the Talladega winner, Lawless Allen. Now, he drives the number 20 Auto Parkit Toyota. So we've got a little bit of a change at the top of the point standings there.
It is, and I'll tell you what, it's not a big surprise being that we saw what we did out of LeVar Scott as a rookie last year. So,
yes.
But we're going to
year last year.
Yeah. And I mean, with good reason. He had a strong season, especially for a rookie.
Yes.
Now, Allen will be looking to go back-to-back after scoring his first career ARCA Menards Series victory last time out there at Talladega. And he'll have a better-than-average chance as the Venturini organization, Venturini Motorsports organization, it's still Venturini at this point, has won at Kansas Speedway 5 times, previously with Alex Bowman in 2011, Christian Eckes in 2019, then they had Corey Heim in 2020 and 2022, and Jesse Love in 2023. So that's the car to be in for sure.
It is indeed. Brennan Queen is in that number 28 BestRepair.net Chevrolet, and he's making his first career start at Kansas Speedway this weekend, where he hopes to rebound after he had a kind of a disappointing finish of 25th place at Talladega. Now, Queen's other finishes this season, he, of course, won at Daytona International Speedway. He got a second place finish at Phoenix Raceway, and right now he's just 8 points away from that series points lead. So he'll be one to watch to see if he is able to make that rebound this weekend.
And as we said, this is going to be a quarter of the way through after this race. The point standings, that's going to be interesting to watch. Now, Andy Jakowiak, the number 73 Achaia Energy Dax Markets Toyota, was tantalizingly close to victory at Talladega Superspeedway, passing for the lead in the final 10 laps and crossing the finish line in 4th. He returns to Kansas Speedway, where he has finished 6th and 7th in his last 2 starts. And there's an article about him on the homepage of his confidence going into this race. So check that out as well.
Yes, really nice to see that feature article over at ARCA Racing. Now, Isabella Robusto drives the familiar number 55 Mobile One Toyota, and she started from the General Tire pole last September in her very first start at Kansas Speedway. Now, what happened though during the race is she had contact with another car that ended her day after just one lap. But she's headed to Kansas with some momentum on her side this time. She finished a season best third at Talladega Superspeedway. And as she looks to go back to Kansas for the second time, it's the first track she'll visit a second time in her ARCA Menards Series career. So that might not be good news for the rest of the competition.
Not at all.
She did pretty well.
And that's what we talk about all drivers, that second time around, you see the improvement, hopefully.
And this is one of my favorites coming up here, Jay.
It is. Mason Mitchell, he's going to be in the number 25 Proceed USA Toyota, the 2014 ARCA Menards Series champion and 2015 winner at Kansas Speedway. He's making his first appearance of 2025 in the third Venturini Motorsports entry. Now, Mitchell has finished among the top 10 in each of his 5 previous ARCA Menards Series starts at Kansas Speedway. So again, you got track history and you got him with Venturini Motorsports, another tough one to watch out for.
Okay, now Spencer Gallagher, we know he's back in the number 23 Allegiant Airlines SPS Chevrolet, and he's making his second ARCA Menards Series start this year and his first at Kansas Speedway since his victory there in the 2014 season finale. So nice to see Spencer Gallagher back behind the wheel.
It is. Another one to watch will be Thad Moffitt, the number 46 Safety Clean Toyota. He's making his first ARCA Menards Series start at Kansas Speedway since he finished 6th in 2021.
Also, previous ARCA Menards Series winners at Kansas Speedway include some of the drivers we've already mentioned, like Jason Jarrett, Frank Kimmel in 2002, 2006, and 2013, Shelby Howard in 2003, Ryan Hemphill in 2004, Chad Blount in 2005, Scott Lagasse Jr. in 2007, Scott Speed in 2008, Parker Kligerman in 2009. Then it was Ty Dillon in 2010, 2011, and 2012. It was Alex Bowman, Gallagher, Mitchell, Chase Briscoe in 2016, all won there. Michael Self won in 2017, Sheldon Creed in 2018, Eckes and Brett Holmes in 2020, Corey Heim and Ty Gibbs in 21, Nick Sanchez won in 21 and 22, Love and Connor Mosak in 23 and 24, and Tanner Gray also in 24. So that is a pretty distinguished list of winners there at Kansas Speedway.
It is, and you see where a lot of them where they are at now or had reached as far as the Cup Series level or working their way close to it. So
yes,
one of them that is up there is Alex Bowman, and he holds the ARCA Menards Series track qualifying record. He set it way back in 2012 at 29.258 seconds, which equals 184.559 miles per hour.
Also, Christian Eckes set the ARCA Menards Series race record. That happened in 2019 at 141.695 miles per hour.
And just to recap where you can watch the Tide 150, it'll be broadcast live on FS1, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And there's also on the select affiliates of the MRN radio network nationwide and on Sirius XM NASCAR radio channel, which is channel 90. Live timing and scoring data from all on-track activity and live race audio. That's available at arcaracing.com. And you can follow ARCA Racing on X, or what you know as Twitter, for up-to-the-minute updates and information. So again, you can get all the race coverage you need.
Yes, indeed. And that race again is Friday night, May 9th. So a lot to look forward to in this race. As we mentioned earlier, the points have been taken over by LeVar Scott in the lead, Jay. And the full entry list is available over at arcaracing.com.
That's one. There are a couple that I did want to mention that we didn't hit in just the news highlights, but Laney Bice making a start with Max Siegel Incorporated, Chevrolet number 2, and Patrick Starpoli, he's in that number 17 Toyota for Bruce. The 18 from Joe Gibbs Racing, William Swalich, and I'm excited about that. It seems like maybe he needs a little bit more track time, and we saw that a couple of weeks ago. Kind of helped his performance. But this is one I saw on Twitter. I'm a follower of him on Twitter. The number 67 Maples Motorsport Chevrolet from La Mirada, California, Ryan Vargas.
He's back.
He's back. I was so excited to see that, and I hope he does well.
Me too. A couple of other people I see here. Brayton Laster is from Greenwood, Indiana, is in this race. Presley Sora from Cambridge City, Indiana, is in this race for the Hillenburg Toyota number 9. Matt Kemp is another Hillenburg driver in the number 12. But otherwise, I think we've pretty much hit on all of. Oh, Miguel Gomes.
That's one I was just going to hit. There we go.
Yeah, we've got an international flavor this time. He's driving the number 69 this weekend. So that's a new one as well. So that's kind of cool.
And I know, Sharon, we talk about that. I always like to see that international flavor.
Yeah, I like that too. I really do. There's also a penalty statement from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway that we probably need to bring up here as well, Jay, just as a follow-up to the race last week.
All right, we're doing that one first.
Yeah, let's do that first. Based on post-race technical inspection after the Music City 150, the ARCA Menards East race at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway on May 4th, crew chief Tom Ackerman of Sigma Performance Services Racing, number 23, was fined $750 and placed on probation for the remainder of this season. And driver Tyler Reif and owner Joe Fari have been penalized with the loss of 6 championship points in the ARCA Menards Series East. In addition to applicable special awards points, the infraction was for Section 20C-12.8J, which relates to, or I think that's 8.1, which relates to body height, which references the minimum maximum roof height. So I didn't see Tyler on the entry list for this week either. So that's too bad. That makes me sad.
And that's why I say I couldn't remember if he was running the whole season or not.
On the East list, he's in 3rd place. He was down 12
maybe.
Points.
But yeah, that's the East Series.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise for sure. One of the things about Kansas Speedway is the progressive banking in the corners. There's multiple groups of racing in Kansas, leaving plenty of options for the competitors to gain valuable track position on both short and long runs. So it'll be interesting during maybe practice and qualifying for folks to find out who's figured out that track.
It is, and you already hit on it. The shakeup with the ARCA Menards Series standings. The title contenders are looking to build momentum here at Kansas this weekend, and just as a driver who prevails Friday evening, could join an elite group of the previous Kansas winners. And we hit on them: Frank Kimmel, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, Corey Heim. And that's why I said, I mean, these are guys that are hitting that top level or approaching it. I know Corey Heim has getting ready to make his first start with 2311. So could be a launching point for winner of tomorrow night's Tide 150.
Yes, indeed. Um, Everyone in the field is likely going to be chasing that number 18 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, though. It's been really strong this season, no matter who's driving it. The reigning ARCA Menards Series East champion is in that car this weekend, William Sawalich, and the team won the most recent event with Tanner Gray back in September. So they're seeking to guide Sawalich to his first victory on an intermediate track this weekend in that car. But definitely, I'd have my eye on that number 18 car.
All right. We did hit on the two previous winners that are in the field for the Tide 150, Spencer Gallagher and Mason Mitchell, both of them kind of coming back, if you will. Gallagher back in the number 23 for Sigma Performance Services, the same car number which prevailed in Kansas back in 2014. And then Mitchell in that number 25 Proceed USA Toyota for Venturini.
And one of the people that we didn't mention on the entry list was Amber Balkan. She is in this race as well this weekend. She might have been one of the TBAs.
Yeah, there was we did skip over the TBA one that I didn't know if you had information on, and you're right. I don't remember seeing her name, so that must be the TBA that was listed, and it would be a Kimmel Racing machine. So again, a good team to be with.
Yes, it is. Now it is a 1.5 mile paved tri-oval, as we mentioned a little bit earlier as well. And if you don't have Fox Sports 1, or if you don't have the television available, you can watch this race on the Fox Sports app as well. So that's something to keep in mind too.
All right, that's good point there, because I don't think we had talked about that yet in any of the other sections of that. So again, if you want to watch the race, you can find it.
Okay, now I also have here the next race for the ARCA Menards Series East is going to be next weekend, May 17th. And that's at Flat Rock Speedway starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and you'll be able to watch that on Flow Racing. And then for the ARCA West, we have to wait a little bit longer, May 24th, 10 p.m. Eastern, out at Colorado National Speedway. And I believe our interview from this week with the team owner for Jan's Towing and Racing, they'll be there. So that'll be fun to kind of watch that race after having that interview.
Most certainly, and we've seen, as you mentioned, everybody on that team now, the drivers as well as the owner. Some great coverage. Appreciate Sal. I know he kind of set that up and getting to know them. That's part of the reason I like doing this show with you, Sharon, especially as these drivers build their reputation and move from the ARCA series into the Xfinity trucks or Cup. Get to know them before they're stars.
Exactly. And one of the things if you haven't seen the interview with Jan Qualkenbush, I would really encourage you to go take a look at that. He is a unique team owner, for one thing. And he talks about how he got started in racing and in the ARCA West series. And he even gave us a tour of his race shop, what he calls the Barminium.
Yeah, it was really cool, and from that perspective to see it, and we so appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. So you're right. We do have Sal to thank for that. Is there anything else you want to make sure we mention here before we move on, Jay?
No, I don't think so. I guess I know what you're gonna ask me next.
Yes,
so
you do.
Let me think about. Man, there's a bunch I know I want to win. Man, I would love to see William Sawalich come back into the Joe Gibbs 18, as you mentioned, of being one of the ones to really have to contend with. And he is a favorite of mine, so I'm gonna go with William Sawalich.
This is a tough one for me to pick too, because I'm between Mason Mitchell, Lawless Allen, and Patrick Staropoli.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's what I said. As far as a favorite, man, to see Ryan Vargas come in, I would not
Yes.
mind that in the least.
Yes, yes. Isabella Robusto, too. You never know. She's been doing really well this year. And she finished third at Nashville. And it wouldn't surprise me if she doesn't have a really good finish at Kansas Speedway as well, especially since it's the second time that she's been at that track.
Yeah, that's always exciting to watch once drivers have been to a track before and have a better feel for it, a little more experience for under belt. Certainly have to consider it of improvement. So you expect the same or better result, second time round. I know situations happen where that doesn't necessarily prevail, but you certainly do look forward to it. And again, having Venturini Motorsports behind you, I don't know how much more you can ask for.
That's always a good thing. But I think the number 18 has just been so good this year that William Sawalich is certainly one to keep your eye on. And he's probably going to do pretty well. But he's going to have a little bit stiffer competition in the ARCA Menards Series than he did than that car has in the East, I think.
And that's true. I'd have to agree with that.
Okay, now do watch for more coming soon. Jay and I are just completing our preview for the ARCA Menards Series racing at Kansas this weekend. Two other races are happening this weekend at Kansas Speedway. The Xfinity Series is actually off for the next couple of weeks. So we'll be talking about the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Truck Series at Kansas Speedway. And Jay and I will be back with those previews as well.
Looking forward to it and looking forward to the weekend of racing.
And then after the weekend of racing, we'll be back on Monday for our reviews of those races. And then keep in mind, we also do on Monday our Hot Topic Sound Off segment, where we talk about all the hottest topics in the world of racing, especially NASCAR, and kind of hash all that out amongst ourselves.
That's always a fun time too.
Yes, it is. That starts at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Pacific. But we want to say a big thank you to everybody for tuning in. We always appreciate everybody taking time to hear what we have to say, because we have a lot of fun doing these.
Most certainly do, and I'd have to echo that. Appreciate it. I know our subscriber list has been building, so again, sharing it, y'all watching. I know the interview Sharon talked about with the owner there had over 100 views, so we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. I think 174 was the last I last saw. So yeah, it's really been fantastic. So thank you again to everybody, and I guess Jay, we'll see you in the next video.
We will indeed.